sweetheart. So sweet. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. How you guys doing? What's going on? Woo, some beautiful, beautiful black women and men here today. Yes. Okay, I'm sweating just a little bit. Okay? I'm sweating just a little bit. Because I got a wig on. You know what I'm saying? And I had some suya. Ooh, did ya? Girl. So I am so happy to be here at the GT Bank Food and Drink. I am ready to cook. But show of hands, who watches Food Network? Okay, the kitchen? That's really awesome. We just have such a good time. It's so much fun working with Jeezy, Katie, Jeff. I get to cook with friends and I get to eat. A lot of people like to think that my job is cooking, but I really eat more than I cook at my job. So, you know, if you ever want a job in eating, look at Food Network. We're fabulous. If you watch Food Network, I want to just tell you thank you so much because it's a dream of mine, and I'm just so happy to be there. I'll tell you a little bit about my story as I'm cooking. But first things first, I know I'm a lot skinnier in person, right? So I just want to make sure I can't just get up close so you can see, you know. This is what I look like in real life, you know what I'm saying? I got a little meat on my bones, but, you know, I'm skinny, you know. I got a waist, you know what I'm saying? I got a waist. You want to feel my waist? It exists. It's right to see right there, y'all. Y'all, how you doing? Oh, step up. How y'all doing? How y'all doing back here in the cheap seats? Y'all do your homework? What happened back here? How y'all doing? Listen, I'm just looking for a woman that wears a size 16 that wants to switch outfits with me because I need some of this color in my life. What's up? Come on. Come on, girl. Okay, so what I'm going to make today is really easy. If you watch the kitchen, you already know what I do is simple because I just want to get food on the plate. First, I want to say thank you to the Culinary Academy of Nigeria. Please give it up for them. My girl, Chef Patricia, and her team are going to help me today. They've already done the mise en place, which is just putting everything in its place. So today's menu is simple. I'm going to grill some pork chops. I'm going to make a really quick apple and pear slaw, and then I'm going to mash some potatoes. It's simple. It's real easy. And a lot of my ingredients you can find at the grocery store. The first thing I want to do for you is make a sauce. I have a very bad memory. So I like to make recipes that are easy to follow. And one of my favorite recipe styles I like to make is a 1, 2, 3. Can you help me turn on the stove? Because I'm not good at it. It's not like my range at home. Thank you, baby. So the sauce I'm going to make is 1, 2, 3 sauce. It's easy to remember because it's 1 of something, 2 of something, and 3 of something, and you're done. If you're on Instagram and you want to find more of my 1, 2, 3 recipes, just search the hashtag Sunny's 1, 2, 3 recipes. I've got biscuits and pancakes and waffles, all with 3 ingredients. Very simple to do. And the beauty of a 3-ingredient recipe is then you can start to do things with it that you like. Make it spicier, sweeter, add another thing to it that you want to. So in my pot right here, I'm going to start with the 1. We're going to do 1 cup. Who measures? Show of hands of the people that measure at home. Oh, y'all are special. Y'all are real special, okay? Congratulations on that. But I'm just going to put about a cup. That's the 1 cup of apricot preserves into this pan here. That's about a cup. Now, to that 1 cup of apricot preserves, 2 cups of chicken stock. So you get it? We got the 1 cup, the 2 cup. That goes right in. It's going to shut everything up. That was 2 cups. And then for the 3, it's going to be about 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. That's all you need. It's going to take that sweet from super sweet to tangy. That chicken stock is going to take that sweet marmalade and apricot to a savory place. So about 3 teaspoons. You like that? It works. That's not how I pour my liquor. I just pour. I don't shake. So we're going to let that bubble for a minute. I'm going to whisk it out and loosen up. the apricot. I like using this sauce on pork chops, chicken. What we're going to use this sauce for is a quick glaze. So put that together. Maybe a little bit more apricot. Big old spoon, yeah, that'll do it. All right, so that's gonna cook. Nice pinch of salt and pepper. Who likes black pepper? I love black pepper. I feel like every time I go to a restaurant and I ask for black pepper, I have to tell them I want boulders, not snow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when they grind it and it's just so powdery. And so a lot of people, I find, don't realize the way to get boulders is you loosen the top of your pepper grinder. That makes the plate beneath it further away from itself so that you get a bigger grind of pepper. So now you're really making a nice peppery flavor. So I'm gonna put some pepper in here. Boulders, big old boulders. Zoom in on my sweat. I like sweating because, you know, I eat a lot, so it just makes me feel like all that salt is going out. All right, so lots of pepper. Where's the salt? Ooh, look at that beautiful salt. And a nice good pinch of salt. That's also going to bring that sweetness to the right level. I'm going to give that a whisk and taste it, and then just let it bubble while I work on everything else. I'm really messy. I will try not to be so messy. That tastes good. So, remember I said it's a 1, 2, 3? So we've got the 1 cup of preserves, the 2 cups of stock, 3 teaspoons of some kind of apple cider or red wine vinegar. Yesterday when I was at the Culinary Academy, we were talking about how simple my recipe is, and just like I'm telling you now, you can add stuff to it. So I know y'all like the spice. We're gonna put some red chili flakes in here and just let that perfume and permeate everything. That smells so good. All right, so now I'm gonna work on the pork chops. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. My granddaddy was a pig farmer, and my other grandparents had friends and family that were pig farmers. So in South Carolina during the summer, look at these chops, look at these chops. Fat rim, who likes, this is the best part right here. Should I leave it on? I should leave it on, because I usually just trim a little bit. You don't want to trim a little bit? Just a little bit, because I'm sweating. So you know I don't trim. I'll do a little trim, just a little. But so the beauty of growing up, visiting your grandparents on a pig farm, I'm just taking the rind off. This is really good to fry and make crisp and cracklings and stuff like that. So the beauty of growing up and having your granddad a pig farmer is you get to feed the pigs. And one of the beauties of feeding the pigs for me was not eating dinner, so I had more food on my plate to put in the slop bucket to go feed the pigs. So I don't know, every time I make pork chops or eat pork, I think about my granddaddy and the hard work of the farmers. I'm gonna pull this out and just kind of shake it with a spoon so I don't contaminate it. But man, I gotta tell you, pork chop is life. It's a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm real basic with the seasoning on pork chops because this sauce is gonna do a lot of work. Is that turned up? Can you turn it up all the way? Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna leave it on. I like how this one up, sorry. Oh yeah. That's high? Okay, there we go. Oh no, that's good. It'll bubble eventually. So just a little bit of pepper. And then I'm gonna put some salt. Look at you cutting off that good fat. Leave a little bit. I'll give it up for Chef Patricia over here, slicing and dicing. So I'm from North and South Carolina, but I'm also an Air Force veteran. My daddy was in the Army, and it didn't seem different for me to grow up and join the Air Force. It was kind of like the family business. And a lot of people will ask me, you know, how did I get into cooking? Have you seen my hips? I mean, I got into eating first, you know? And then I like to tell people I'm lazy, I'm impatient, and I'm hungry. Lazy meaning I do not want to put on clothes to get presentable, to leave the house to get a good meal, right? Impatient meaning I don't know what they do here, but in the States, when you go to a restaurant, it's the bread, it's the water, it's the appetizer. I want the entree. I came for the entree. You know what I'm saying? So I'm impatient in that way, where it's like, can we just speed this up a little bit? And then hungry is obvious. I mean, I want to eat. I have me some jollof rice, you know what I'm saying? I want the party. Where the party jollof rice at, though? Is the party jollof rice out there? Because I saw somebody with some wood. Is it happening? Okay, I'm going to make a beeline to the jollof rice. That's about to go down. I got some suya, did ya, girl? It's my Michael Jackson. That suya was fire. That's probably why I'm sweating right now. All right, any tongues? Yes. Okay, so my chops are simple. I'm just going to do some salt and pepper because this is going to do a lot of nice work for us. I'm going to get them on the grill as soon as I get the grill hot. Is this hot? Yeah, preheat. As soon as you see it smoking, let me know. Cool? See, this is the kind of cooking where if you have a smoke alarm at home, you just take the battery out. Just take it out. I had this deal one time. I was working with a hotel brand, Extended Stay America, and their big thing was we got a kitchen in every room. And so I did a book tour, and every hotel I stayed at was Extended Stay America, and every hotel I set that fire alarm off. So much so, I know what to do. If you ever set off the fire alarm, take it out the ceiling and put it in the freezer. It works. It shut off immediately. Yeah, it works. But remember to put it back up because, life is good. I'm going to taste this as it's cooking down. You see can you even see? There's no mirror, but it's bubbling. Just trust me. It's bubbling. We've got a nice viscosity going on here. We've got the sweet from the jam, the savory from that chicken stock, some fire from the red chili flakes, and just a little tang from that apple cider vinegar. All right, it's not smoking yet. We'll let it hang out. So, I'll tell you how I started cooking for real. That's the name of my first show. The name of the first show. Let me tell you something. They were playing with my name for a minute, and I was almost about to not have a show on Food Network because I was not about to let them play with my name. So the first show title was Sunny Side Up. And I said, I'm just going to be making eggs? Like, I do more than breakfast. I feel like, are they going to just think I'm making brunch? And then it was the sunny side of life. It was sunny this, sunny that, sunny that. I was like, listen, okay, I'm 43 now. I was 33 when I started. I'm like, about done with the sunny jokes, okay? You know what I'm saying? Anybody with a funny name, you know what I'm talking about, So one day, the network called and they said, what about Cook It For Real? And I said, let's go. But the way I got there is interesting. I was in the Air Force as a broadcaster, and all I was doing was, have you ever seen Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams? I was just doing that. I was entertaining the troops, playing music for them, giving them the news. And when I got back to the United States, it was all about reporting, and I moved around. And so the first place I moved after I got out of the Air Force was New Orleans. And the reason I moved to New Orleans is while I was in the Air Force, I was doing some news stories on military boxers. And they were training in New Orleans. Now, I grew up hating seafood. When my parents would go to a seafood restaurant, I didn't even want the kids' chicken tenders or the burger from the seafood restaurant. We had to go to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. When I moved to San Antonio, I went to New Orleans. It's smoky. Y'all ain't tell me? Y'all ain't tell me it's smoky? You, with the red, you ain't tell me it's smoking? It's smoking. It's time for the chops. So I went to New Orleans for work. And I was dating this guy at the time. And ladies, if you're raised right, when you go on a first date, you tear up the whole menu. You tear it up. You don't order a salad. You tear up that menu. Let him know what he's getting into, okay? Let him know. So I'm dating this big-time guy. He's a boxer. And we went to this restaurant called Mother's. All mothers does is seafood. You know about mothers? All they do, gumbo, etouffee, it's crawfish, it's oysters, it's shrimp, it's all the stuff I don't like. And he did one of those cavalier man things where he ordered for the table like I didn't have a mouth. I have a mouth, okay? Trust. And everything from the ocean showed up. And the way I'm raised, you're supposed to just eat it. So I sat there and I trudged through gumbo and etouffee and shrimp po' boys. I ate all the stuff I can't stand. And I sat there realizing we got kids here, so I'm not going to curse. But this stuff is delicious. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever really want some good seafood, you got to go to where they know how to make it. Maybe I was eating it at the wrong places. Maybe the fish sticks in the oven when I was growing up just were a bad introduction to what seafood is supposed to be. So I always tell people that New Orleans changed my life because I already had a love for food, but I felt kind of fake when I just loved a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now I love everything. Again, hips. So I'll eat it all. And what happened from that is it opened up my mind to being able to now cook any and everything. And that's what I did. So I kept doing radio. I moved to New York and got a job at radio there. And I'm hanging out with these like rappers. They're smoking weed. They're hungry because that's what happens. And I would go to the studio and they would have these menus in a drawer, like tons of menus. You know, you get the General Tso's chicken, you get some fried rice. Ain't no jollof rice, ain't no good food. It's just like yucky, just hold you over until you get a home meal food. And I thought, these guys are making platinum records, ordering a number 2 off of some menu. They got to get some real food in their system. So I started showing up to the studio with trays of mac and cheese and collard greens and brownies, because you know, they love the brownies, you know. And next thing you know, I'm doing my radio job and I'm cooking for people on the side. Okay, so let me tell you something about pork chops and any meat or protein that you put on heat. If you're wondering when to flip it, it'll let you know. If it ever sticks, it's not ready to release. The fat and all that good stuff hasn't caramelized. But if it releases, go ahead and flip it. So what happened is I had a real job, and then I had my hobby on the side. And my hobby on the side started taking over. Hey, girl, I don't want to go over. I don't want to kill the time. We good? You got other pork chops over there? Oh, we're good. So it started happening where, and many people that have hobbies, who here has a job and a hobby that they really search out? And is that hobby something that you wish you could get paid to do? So I'll tell you what happened. I did not want to do it. I did not want to cook for people for a job. But they kept asking. And anyone that loves to cook, it feels really good when you cook for someone and they like it. So I wanted to chase that, but not as a full-time job. So what I ended up doing was I told my friends, listen, I got a real job, okay? So if you want a tray of mac and cheese, yes, fire, dun, 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 dun. That's when you're really cooking. I told my friends, listen, I would love to cook for you, but now it's going to cost. I'm not going to charge you for any of the effort, but I'll charge you for the ingredients, if you will. And that's what happened. I just started charging for the ingredients. So like, you know, it was very inexpensive. I would make a tray of mac and cheese for $5, you know, greens for $5. It was very inexpensive. I wasn't into the overcharge or, I balled them into a tiny knot. Oh, it smells delicious. And then I just start chopping that tiny knot. It makes it a lot easier. It doesn't run away from you on the cutting board. And then you can go back in and really run your knife through it. So Emeril as well. Emeril has been awesome. You know, even though I was on his show in 2005, I didn't see him again until maybe 2008 or so. I think a lot of people think, you know, you're on someone's show, they'll help you get on. And I just I don't know. It's not like he didn't want to help. He's just busy. I didn't want to ask him to help. I like to tell people a lot of times, your mentor shouldn't be who you'd like to be. Your mentor should be who hires who you'd like to be, because that person actually knows what they're looking for. A lot of times people in my position, I don't know what they were looking for. Like, I don't know how I did this. I don't know what the criteria was. I'm just happy to be here. So I don't know if I could even coach someone into getting this job, but I know my bosses can. So, oh yeah, you saute the onion, it's done? We can mash it up with the yams, put it all up in here. The butter is melting. Okay, so parsley, cilantro, mint. It's a really good blend. I'm gonna add in some pear. So the cool thing about looking up to people is sometimes you meet them, and then when you meet them, you actually really hope that they add up to what you expect. I'll have you know, Rachel Ray is one of the hardest working women I've ever met in the business. I could only tape 2 shows in one day, and that took me 4 or 5 seasons to work myself up to. When I first started, we'd tape a half show a day. Rachel tapes 4 shows in one day, which is no one at the network can even do it. And in addition to that, she does all of these good works outside of it. I'll put some more, and I'm gonna toast these walnuts. But so the cool thing about that is that I was able to not only come out with a cookbook, but I was able to come out with a cookbook that was published by Rachel Ray's publisher that she had. And so that made me feel like, I can't even believe it. I look up to her, I get to go on her show, and I get to be published by her publisher. So it's a dream come true. And it was a labor of love. I wrote the book. I can't even believe I did it with my own hands. And that's what I'm talking to you about, chasing your dreams. The cool thing is, sometimes you might not realize what else is in store for you. I'm gonna use this burner. I'm gonna toast these walnuts. When you chase your dreams, you're maybe myopic, and you get there, and then what happens is, all these other cool things start to come along with it that you could have never planned. And that's what I'm here for. I'll have you know, and I've told a few people, last year, a month or 2 ago, I was in the UK, and I visited the Food Network offices there, and they were so nice. It was so cool. I just wanted to meet the people that I talked to on the internet, because the UK Instagram account, we talk. And they let me know when I visited that Seba, who I can't wait to meet, and I were doing really well as far as shows in Africa. And Seba is so awesome. We DM, and she's a pleasure. And I said last year to the executives at Food Network, I gotta find a way to get to Africa and work. Do you know what I'm saying? Not just come sightsee, but like work. See the people that actually support this dreamer willing to do the work. You know what I'm saying? So almost a year to the month later, I got a call to come here. And like, I really do believe there's some God in it. And when you chase your dreams and your passion, these things just kind of start happening. And so I say, get out there and do it. I'm not saying quit your job and go broke, you know, but it might happen. You know, and my best friend, she told me, when you need it, it'll show up. So don't stress about the money. You know what I mean? Money is really evil in its essence anyway. When you need it, it'll show up. So I'm just toasting these walnuts. And the reason I toast nuts, and everyone should toast nuts, is it brings out the natural oils. Who here just loves nuts and anything? I'm team texture. Okay, so keep your hand up if you love nuts. Keep your hand up if you store your nuts in the refrigerator or the freezer. Wow, okay, the people with their hands up, I'm gonna come to your house and we're gonna have some mixed nuts, okay? You other people are like my grandma. I would go to my grandma's house once a year and she'd have that same bowl of nuts. I crack into it with the nutcracker, and it was the most rancid pecan ever. Nuts go bad fast. So, you have nuts in your pantry, put them in your fridge. They're expensive. I think nuts to me are the most expensive thing you can buy in bulk at the grocery store. Next to some spices. So take care of your nuts. Put them in the fridge. Oh, I did not plan that. Let me just toss this slaw.
All right, can we take more questions?
Yes, please.
Hi, Sonny. It's so nice to meet you and have you in Lagos finally.
Where are you?
Hi, I'm
hey,
here.
girl.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So, I really like mac and cheese. It's one
Yes.
of my favorite things to make ever.
Okay, let's
So
talk
tell
about
me,
it.
What's your secret recipe to having a good mac and cheese? What do you add to it to make it
You
nice?
ready?
And I'm ready.
Okay, now
Bring
look.
it on.
I'm going to give you my book because it's in there.
Okay, cool.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you the secret to my mac and cheese is two things. Well, maybe three. But two things. First, sour cream. I put sour cream in it. Yeah, sour cream. It gives you a little bit of tang. Yeah. Then a little pinch of nutmeg. The tiniest pinch of nutmeg. And the bechamel. Yes, girl, in the bechamel. Yes, yes. Okay, what's your name? You're going to have to spell it, though. Ibiola? I'm going to get you over there, my man. Okay, how do I spell it? Mm-hmm. Hey. So, yeah, that's the secret. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, let me tell you something. If anyone asks me what yeah, let's do a selfie. Come on. You gotta turn around.
If there are more questions,
there. Oh, yeah,
can I
that's-
see you raising your hands? Okay.
So when I first started cooking for myself, not for work, my mom's mac and cheese is everything. Who's got a mom that can just throw down in the kitchen? Just, yes, okay? Okay, who got a selfish mom when you ask her for the recipe, she don't give you all of it? Okay, you know what I'm saying? So my mom gave me her recipe for mac and cheese, and all it had was the ingredients. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I do with that? So she's a hater. She's a hater. She's a hater. And I love her, though. I'm just like her. I'm a hater, too. So I just had to work through the recipe. I just had to figure it out myself. And that recipe that's in the cookbook, I have 2 mac and cheese recipes in that cookbook. One is baked and one is stovetop. Because, again, I'm lazy and I'm impatient. And sometimes I don't have time for the oven. You know what I'm saying? So the recipe that's in there, that's my spicy mac and cheese, and I make it spicy with a little cayenne pepper, a little Hungarian paprika. That started my catering business. Let me taste this. Yup. How many people you gotta taste as you go. Gotta taste as you go. Every once in a while when I make a slaw, especially when you're working with things that might taste different from time to time. Pears might be super sweet, super tart. This was a really tart pear. It's a little bit of olive oil just to kind of level it out. And look at that slaw. That was so simple, guys. It's literally just orange juice, orange zest, a little bit of salt, pepper, the 3-herb blend, olive oil, some raisins, red apples, green pears. And there goes a very simple pear slaw. You want to put it over here?
We have more questions.
Yeah, come on, let's do it. Oh, you want a book now, huh? Y'all figured it out now, huh? Oh, okay. Okay. Who's next?
Hi, Sonny.
What's up, brother?
So good to meet you.
Can you speak louder, please?
So I just want to know, how do you get to enhance your recipe bank, given the fact that you didn't attend any culinary schools or something?
So he wanted to know, how do I come up with recipes given that
Yeah.
I've never went to culinary school or something?
Definitely.
You know, something is weird where I hate to say it this, how do I say it without, it's like a talent I can't harness. I don't know how to make it work, but it work. Like I know I can eat a meal and I can figure out what's in it, how I'm going to make it better for my palate. A lot of times the Food Network will say, Sonny, we want you to make a meatloaf in a bundt pan. And I'll say, okay. And then I'll just go home and I'll say, I'm going to make meatloaf tonight. I don't have a recipe, but I know what I want to be in it. So usually I freestyle the first time. I just kind of make it. And then the second time, I will start measuring. At the very beginning, I would do what I call negative measuring. So I'd have like 4 cups of stock, and then I would pour some out. And then if I wanted the recipe, I'd just measure what was left, and I knew what I actually put in the dish. But now that I've been doing it for 10 years, I can actually taste something and sit down and write the recipe before I cook it and cook it to the recipe, and it turns out pretty good. So I'm really happy to be in this space because I didn't know that I could do that. And I didn't know that I would be prolific in recipe writing. Before I got on the network, they told me, you're going to need at least 100 recipes under your belt. And, you know, if you think about 13 episodes in one season and 3 to 4 recipes per episode, my 100 recipes were gone within 2-3 seasons. So I'm a recipe machine. Every time I cook, I either write something down in my journal or I go to my computer and I type it up. And it becomes work later on down the line. I got your book. Got my pen in my pocket right here.
Another question.
Another question?
My name is Amarachi.
She's right there. She's a little girl over there.
Okay, I see you, baby.
Hi, Sunny. I was wondering if there's ever been a time
I'll sign it later.
when you were on the kitchen and you haven't enjoyed a food that your co-star
Yes.
had made.
Yes. She wants to know, has there ever been a time on the kitchen where I was served something and I did not like it? Yes. And if you watch every week, you will see me not like food. And I had to fight for that. I want to tell you that. Because when we first started the kitchen, there were some things I did not like. And then my producers would say, but can you just at least be nice about it? And I'm like, no. Like, this is how I feel. If I tell you, I just had the best suya upstairs, girl. It was spicy, my lips were on fire, it was perfectly cooked, and you agree and you had it, then the next meal I have, if I don't like it and I tell you the truth, you'll trust me. And because we might have the same palate, I never want to tell someone something's delicious if it isn't. I have 3 other people ready to tell you it's good if I don't like it. So there are many times, and actually, because of that, we started a segment that the network loves now where they go, try it, you might like it. And they use me as the guinea pig because they know I'm going to tell the truth. We had some kind of disgusting chickpea pasta that they had me try, and I was like, no, don't, just work out or just eat less. Like, I don't understand all of these fake foods, you know, like the turkey bacon. Like, there is no bacon cut on a turkey, you know? Oh, can I taste it? You liked it? Do you taste it?
All right, before we get to the next question, I have a question for you, Sunny.
Girl,
So you've tasted the Nigerian jollof rice and the
Yes.
suya. So it seems like you really, really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be trying your hands on making your own version of jollof rice?
Yes. And I need y'all not to hate on me, okay? I need y'all not to be like, but this is not the authentic jollof rice. This is not what my mama makes. Please, just work with me because it's what I like to do. I went to Puerto Rico for vacation. Y'all ever had or heard of mofongo? It's just plantains green plantains. They fry it, they mash it, they fry it, then they mash it again. They put some garlic in there. You gotta have some pork fat or something. It's delicious. It's called mofongo, and they use a big, huge mortar and pestle looking thing called a pilon to make it. Americans ain't got no pilon, but we want some mofongo. So I made a recipe called faux fungo, like fake mofongo, and I make it in a food processor. Tastes the same, it's delicious, and thank goodness my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters did not pick on me. I'm sure a few did, but when y'all see me do jollof rice in the kitchen, please holla at your girl. Holla at your girl, okay? I'm gonna do some suya too, watch me. All right, so this is just the yams that we roasted, and then I usually roast the onions, but you can see my girl Patricia, she went onto the cooktop and she roasted the onions and then just mashed everything together with some red chili pepper. And it's delicious. A nice little sprinkle of salt is all you need. And then you just come in and you start to twist the plate like a turntable. I used to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was so happy to get out of radio. They were shooting people up at my radio station like it was a sport. They used to call, it was Hot 97, and by the time I left, they were calling it Shot 97. It was something else, I tell you. So yeah, I am happy to be here. The worst thing's gonna happen is a flare-up from the stove. I wanna make sure the cameras see everything. We did talk about this. So this was that quick sauce. Remember what was in here? We just put in a little bit of red chili flake. We had that 1 cup of apricot preserves, the 2 cups of chicken stock, and the 3 teaspoons of the apple cider vinegar. It cooked down into a really luscious sauce. And then my girl Patricia, no, I don't think we need it. She added in some cognac, because we talked about that yesterday. Are you over 21? Okay, just checking. And a little bit of brown sugar. And then that just comes right in here over the pork chops at the end, like that. And there you guys have it. It's my 1, 2, 3 grilled pork chops, my mashed sweet potatoes, and my quick pear and apple slaw. I hope you guys try these recipes at home. They're online. Many of them are in my cookbook. I'm not going anywhere if you have a couple more questions. I know my time's up, so we'll take 2